They gon' love me for my ambition.
This clip of Disney talking about Snow White. So Snow White, classic movie. Everyone's seen it, you know, especially if you have a child. But even growing up, the classic Snow White movie, right? With the Prince Charming, you know, the dwarfs, the whole situation. This is a new actress that's going to play, I think, the live action version of Snow White. And she said that there was controversy with the prince that, according to them, you know, and Disney, the prince was a creepy stalker. And they are considering that they might even cut all his scenes from the live action version because they don't want to portray the prince at all. Because according to them, in the animation, the prince was a creepy stalker. You know, this is the clip right here that's gone viral, and people are like astonished, like what is going on?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yep.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
What?
I mean, you know,
oh my God. So I feel a huge type of way with this. I was like, first of all,
I can't wait to get canceled my first week of like filing an LLC for my therapy practice.
yeah, this would be the one. But surprisingly, because this one was posted, I think, like on a stereotypical, like a right-wing Twitter account, but everyone was feeling the same type of way with this situation, whereas like a Snow White movie is not a Snow White movie. Like, if you remember Snow White in the movie, it was all about the prince and her doing stuff for the prince, and like the love story of the prince. Now, if you remove that...
Is that the one where she falls asleep because of the apple? Is that Snow White?
That one would be Cinderella.
That's not Cinderella. Cinderella's the glass shoe.
Fall asleep because of the apple. It might be Snow White.
Yeah, I think that's Snow White.
Snow White, right?
I think it's Snow White, yeah. Then again, we're three men talking about Snow
Rick
White.
Ross lost a deal off of that, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah, we gotta be careful, right?
What I will say is, like, itching me, so I gotta say it.
Yeah.
What I will say is, like, and my take is going to be kind of different from everyone else's, but I think that we need to leave these classics as a classic. Stop remaking them. If like you want to show your kids stuff like that, like get out the DVD player, you know what I'm saying, and like show them. Like, I hate remaking classics because you're gonna run into this issue every single time.
Yeah.
Even like you know, I have African American coworkers, and they were giving me kind of their opinion on, I believe it was supposed to be a Black Little Mermaid or something like that.
Oh, with the Ariel?
With Ariel, yeah. It was something like that.
Haley Bailey.
And I was against that. And I'm obviously not against Black women or anything like that, but it's like, I do feel like a classic should be that. A classic, which means you leave it a classic and you don't touch it.
Yeah, the thing is,
if you want to create a new series with like a Black Mermaid, go for it.
Call it something else.
Now, on top of that, when she's talking about, you know, the prince being creepy, it's like, where do we draw the line? Like, do we draw the line at like he was saying before with Cinderella, like a magic shoe? Like, are we gonna like pick and choose what's fake about it, what's real about it?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a slippery slope. So I always revert to just, let the classics be the classics.
100%. The thing is, in my opinion, is there's always going to be a different perspective every year. You know what I'm saying? So, like, depending what's happening in the world during that era, that's how they're going to view whatever the fuck was made back in the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, back in the day, that was a love story. It was like a guy really wanted you, chasing you, this, and that, blah, blah, blah. Now it's being portrayed as being a stalker, creepy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how today's generation is viewing certain things. Back in the day, that was normal. Now it's not.
Like, what if there's a fishing movie and like 20 years down the line, people are like, "Oh, that's still animal cruelty."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, it's just like
It doesn't add up.
I guess it really just depends on what's really happening during this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you this. This is a message for Disney. and maybe Bob Iger directly because we might be watching. Because Bob Iger, you know, I used to look up to like the business practices and like this guy's story. But
Yo, I love the people that you shout out because like you'll say it as if they're listening. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, like they actually might be listening. I'm like, all right,
100%.
get your shit off.
100%, 100%.
I was like, I can't do that, but go ahead.
There's been some examples, you know what I'm saying, where people will be listening and I'm like, oh shit, okay. That's why I was talking to you, motherfucker.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? But Bob Iger, this man, you know, behind Disney, because I'm assuming it has to be him because behind this type of like change and stuff. Because recently he came out, he said that Marvel, he's gonna stop financing that many Marvel movies and Star Wars movies and shows. There's gonna be less. And he's not against. He's against like the writer's strike and the actor's strike. He's saying like, you know, that they make enough already. He's on some bullshit, like on some like evil, conniving, like billionaire white man shit. Okay, right? He's playing into the stereotype heavier than ever. But if you are Bob Iger, you're Disney, and if you want to say that Snow White, the prince was a creep, and like we're not doing it that way no more, then you have to immediately, if you want to fulfill that ideology, remove the Snow White movie from Disney Plus, remove it from all the Snow White stores. You're going to have to eliminate that history, right? Because why are you trying to say that that was creepy? Because there's new kids being born every day. My son, if I were to have a daughter, whoever, even my son, if he wants to watch Snow White,
Yeah.
it's going to be their first time watching this. And we're like, oh, these are classics. Look at these classics. They're going to watch it. So you're going to say that, okay, we didn't make the new Snow White with the prince because the prince was creepy in the first one. He was a creep. He was a stalker. Oh, really? He was? So why is it still available for my kid to watch? Like, it doesn't add up. Oh, because you know that there's so much money behind that IP. We can't erase that classic Snow White. We still need to stream it. We still got to get that money, right? We're not going to digitally eliminate the prince. It's hypocrisy. They're trying to fulfill some sort of, I guess, agenda, you know, satisfy a crowd. But while you're trying to satisfy this crowd, that same crowd of people, like if you're, it's Edwin. Edwin's, he's moving some stuff. I think he's taking photos of the
Better
Kanye
go
West frame.
smack 'em.
When it comes to the crowd, you know, that you're trying to fulfill, the same crowd is actually online saying, wait a minute, why are you switching Snow White? You know, the prince was a creep, you know, because this was something that no one really thought of. The prince being like a stalker creep.
Hey, we got to get rid of VJ Day before we get rid of the prince, man.
Yo, like we got bigger fish to fry. There's other bigger issues happening than this Snow White. And this actress, you know, oh, what a firecracker she is. Because she's so enthusiastic about this change. Like, she's so happy about it.
You can tell how she moves.
Oh, she's one of those you can't fuck with.
Yeah.
Because she's, you know what I'm saying? God bless her heart, you know. And she might be a phenomenal actress. Who knows? We shall see. Hopefully this new Snow White blows the classic out the park. This is some classic shit, like a new classic. You know what I'm saying? Because the way they're talking about this shit is like, oh my God, I can't wait. I gotta see it. I might not go to theaters, but I'll probably watch it on Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? But
I have such a disdain for like remade classics. I don't know why.